I told you something that wasn't true last week. I didn't stop writing when my uncle died. In fact, I wrote some poems to the guy I was secretly in love with during college. So here's the story of me falling for this guy. He was the first love of my life, and losing him along with my best friend at the time and grieving them both. So that's the story. I met this guy through a friend that I met first year in college, and the moment I saw him, I had the biggest crush on him. So I decided I want to tell my best friend that. Apparently, she's met him before, and she told me that she liked him before I told her, so I couldn't say anything after that. A couple of months later, she told him how she felt, and they started seeing each other. And a year goes by, I am their friend. I'm secretly falling in love with the guy my friend is dating, and I have no one to tell because I was ashamed of my feelings. How can I be in love with someone that my friend is in love with and she's seeing him as well? So I didn't know what to do. I wasn't able to tell my feelings to anyone or write my feelings because previously I used to write poetry and now I don't. So I was crying every day in bed. I would see them in the morning, go to classes together, third wheel them, and then come back home, cry in my bed until I sleep, repeat for a year. So one day I come back home, same thing, but this time I decided to write a poem because my feelings were so heavy for me to handle it anymore. So I wrote a poem. I didn't intend for anyone to read this. I just wrote it because for me, I wrote it for me. I said, I can't live with your love anymore. It's killing every cell in my body. I can't breathe and pretend to enjoy food when life without you means nothing to me. I kept this poem in my book for one of the classes. Can't remember which one it was. And it was in a book, inside a book, in my bag for another year. And I would read it when I am not feeling well. I couldn't write anything else. I just wrote this poem, and that was about it. I would read it every time I was hurting, in pain, or I was missing this guy. And after a year, my friend comes by my house, and she reads the poem. I don't know how she opened the book, and she read the poem. And she knew. She said that she was having some feelings that I like this guy. I don't know how she felt it, but energy don't lie at the end of the day. Like you can tell if someone likes someone, or in fact, I was in love with him. So it probably showed that. And then she said that she has to tell him because she can't keep it between us. She didn't want anything to do with me. So that was the first time I lose a friend, and it was so painful. She left. The guy comes, like the friend, the guy friend that she was dating. He comes to me and he said that he liked me too. He was having feelings for me, and he wanted to explore it more. I mean, I know what you're thinking. Why would you? It's your friend. It's really bad for me to go and like date this guy that my friend just left. But I was 22 years old. I was in love with this guy. My friend left me and I needed someone. So I decided to date him. I was so happy, and I was so hurt that my friend left. But I was so happy that because he was my first love. So it was an amazing feeling. I can't deny that. So after a couple of months of us dating, I wrote him a poem, and I wanted to share with you because I found it a couple of days ago. So it goes along those lines. For the first time, love knocks on my door. For the first time, I answer. For a long time, I waited in the love corridors, replacing heartbeats with friendship and laughter. But this time, I want more, and more is my friend, waiting for me in the love corridors. This time, with I love you. Would you be my next chapter? A couple of months later, we were dating for 4 months at the time. I told him that I can't see him anymore because it was too much for me. I was seeing my friend in college with other friend groups. She wasn't friend with me anymore. And every time I see her, I feel guilty because I am dating the person who just broke up with her because of me. So I couldn't do it anymore. Although I was so in love with him, I can still remember the feeling. I don't have feelings for the guy anymore, but I can still remember the feelings that it felt at the time. And it's true that they say first love is different. It was for me. I'm not sure if it is for everyone, but it was for me. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it and you enjoyed both poems. And if you have any questions or any topics you want me to talk about, please comment.